You may finish eating if you're still in that process, but I would like to welcome you to the 2022 Rusk County Community Foundation Report to the Community and Heart of Gold event. My name is Debbie Klein, and I'm one of the board members of the Rusk County Community Foundation. It is so nice to have all of you here this evening to celebrate the community achievements that have been made possible by all of the funds held by the foundation. We will also be honoring the Heart of Gold recipient tonight. We have held this event virtually for the past 2 years, which makes it all the better to have all of you here joining us tonight to share in this event. We are ready to begin our program, and we will start by having a testimonial from Don Bartig from the Ladysmith Backpack Program. Don?
Sorry, but after a glass of wine and that great meal, I'm ready for a nap. Thank you, Jen. First of all, I just want to comment on the front of this brochure. Rusk County, a place like no other. Rusk County, I got here in 1971, and it has been nothing but exceptional for us. Nancy is a long-term person, and we have just enjoyed it. So I just really appreciate that heading. I'm here with Hope and Friends Backpack Program. It's a program that we started in 2015, so we've been going for 8 years now. The whole idea is to feed kids, and feed kids on weekends. The school district in Ladysmith has been great in working with us. Every Wednesday, we've got this great group of kids that come over from the high school and come over to the elementary school, and they pack on Wednesday mornings now, and it takes them about a half an hour to do anything from 80 to 100 packs. And they are just special kids, so we love having them there. We also have some great volunteers. We've got about 12 volunteers that help with the kids, also help distribute the bags on Thursday for pre-K, on Friday for the rest of the kids. We also go to middle school, and now we're expanding into Powerhouse. So that's been really great for us. We get our food from Feed My People Food Bank out of Eau Claire. It's been difficult this year. I went through this week and looked at our cost per bag, and it's about $3.62. It was about $3.25, late last year. So you all realize inflation and how we're being hit with it as well. But what I'm here to talk about is Give 365. $1 a day. $1 a day contributions for anyone gives some great programs, some money that wouldn't exist otherwise. A lot of school programs, a lot of little elementary kids are getting some things that they normally wouldn't get because the schools can't afford them. There are a lot of community youth education groups that are getting funding for special projects and everything. So it's just all around been a great thing. Let's see where I'm at. Our contributions come from a wide variety of places, and it's so easy. That was the one thing that I was so worried about when I started the program, and Nancy and I were looking at, how we can do this, and now we have to go fundraising. We haven't had to go fundraising. Organizations and people are coming to us, and that's been so amazing. And that's what we had from the Community Foundation and Rusk 365, doing an application and get money to help support that. Okay, that must be my 5 minutes or something. We've had great individual contributions, anything from $2 to $5 to $8 from people. Churches in town have been fantastic. Ladysmith Lions Club have been long-standing donators. AMVETS, Weather Shield Light Foundation have been great. So it's really been a great thing. But Give 365 has been so great. And when we found it, Nancy and I immediately got into it. So easy to do, tax deductible donation. It's just worth everything to see once a year, giving out anything, usually around $7,000 to $8,000 a year, which is fantastic for all these groups. So we'll have 5, 6, 7 groups that get that money. So I just want to thank them. I want to encourage you to be members if you can, and we love it. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Aline Tauken, Foundation Secretary. Each year we receive exceptional nominees for the Heart of Gold Award, and tonight it's my privilege to introduce this year's recipient, George Lawrence. George has been volunteering since arriving in Ladysmith in 1989. He has served in all capacities, including Board of Directors, Committee Chair, Mentor, Fundraiser, Recruiter, Grill Master, Maintenance, and as he mentioned at the Powerhouse banquet, even cleaning toilets. He's willing to do whatever needs to be done. As important as these activities are, the small and not so small acts of kindness are what I want to share with you tonight. When George sees a need, he gets involved to find a solution. When COVID shut down our churches, he was instrumental in finding 10 people to conduct a service so we could keep our Sunday radio broadcast on the air for the community. He helped coordinate tailgate lunches to support our local restaurants, helped plan regular outdoor recreational activities so we could enjoy fellowship together, and helped organize Christmas caroling for the homebound. Here are some of the comments heard or written about George. He has a heart for the elderly. He stops to visit, serve communion, deliver groceries, help out with a meal or a chore, repair things, check for house critters day or night, provide a listening ear, and once sat up all night with an elderly person having nightmares. He visits the sick and lonely, takes people to appointments, and often offers rides home from the emergency room. He recently loaned his vehicle to a family needing reliable transportation to travel back and forth to Rochester for appointments and a serious surgery. If he sees people who appear lost or out of place, he will take them under his wing and introduce them to others. If young children will be present at gatherings, he has the forethought to bring some intriguing this or that to keep them occupied. He gives away things he doesn't need to the less fortunate. George has a servant's heart, and I could go on, but that's probably enough. When I informed George that he was the recipient of this award, his first comment was, "May I decline?" He does what he does not to get recognition or applause, but because it's the right thing to do. He's a man of strong faith who takes to heart the mandate to love your neighbor as yourself, whether that neighbor is next door or across the globe. George once asked me to take on a new role in a setting where we volunteer. When I said no, which I don't often do, he replied to that, I have to ask you, why not? That's a great question to consider, a question for all of us to ask ourselves. Why not volunteer? Why not step out of our comfort zone to help others? There are many blessings to be found for all involved when the answer is yes to the question, can you help? George, you can come up. Because George said yes to so many things over the years, it's now my honor to present him with a $1,000 check which he can donate to a nonprofit of his choice. And we also have under here for you a gratitude journal and a plaque you can hang on your wall of fame in your house.
They found some other stuff.
Thanks, George, for all you do, making this a better place to live. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. In St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 12, St. Paul writes, "For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you." And again, further on, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. And if it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. In reading the bio that you have in front of you there, I guess, we had to bring in the fact checkers. And I'm not so sure of the accuracy of the whole thing, but the one thing I do know is that in 1989, we came to Ladysmith from Rice Lake. My wife Anita and our 3 children. We came here so that Anita could teach in the public school as an art teacher, which she did for 27 years. We came here with our 3 children, one of who is here this evening, our eldest, Lisa, and 4 of the 5 grandchildren, her husband Chad, and the oldest Reese were unable to make it tonight. My son Joe, who is perhaps joining us with the live stream, if that's what it's called. He and his wife Lucy are in Taiwan visiting her family. And then the youngest, Rebecca, and her husband Douglas, and the newest grandchild, who will be 1 year old in a few weeks, Benaya, live in Texas. My story has roots that go further back than this, though. I grew up in the La Crosse area, to a rather what would be considered poor family back in those days. My parents were both from La Crosse. But Mom and Dad went together for a while in high school. While she was in high school, my dad finished 8th grade before he had to go to work. But the one thing that, according to legend, I believe, was Mom saying that she wanted to have a big family. She wanted to raise a big family. That was her dream in life. And there were 12 children born, 11 brothers and sisters. And I guess Dad didn't disappoint in that regard. So there were 12 of us, and there are 5 older and 6 younger, and they named me George Jr. because they thought that I might be the last one. So we know how that worked out. Again, my mom just wanted to raise that big family, and I don't think there were any plans to raise any doctors or lawyers or dentists or anything along that line. Raising decent people, I think, was the goal. And to a person, I won't speak for myself, but I think she succeeded in doing that. We have to give a lot of credit to moms and dads, because that's where it all begins. As I stated earlier, we were a poor family. The folks felt that we needed to have a Christian education. But with Dad never earning more than $3,000 in any one year that I recollect, affording the tuition, which was $100 a kid. And we had, I believe, 5 at a time in school requiring tuition. So it was with the kindness of others that we were able to accomplish that. So we all got that education. And now I've been blessed with this check for $1,000 that I would like to present to Jacob Smith and Imago Dei Academy school here in town. If Jacob could come forward, please. Jacob, I think he's got a few things to say to tell us.
Thank you, George. Thank you. I couldn't be more grateful for George and this donation. When George and I have gotten to know each other over the last 3-4 years working on different projects together. And when I think about George, 2 things come to mind. It's somebody that can be counted on, and servant leadership. And after us all getting through another ugly political season here, I think we can all agree those are 2 qualities that our culture nowadays falls real short on. So we need more people like George, so thank you, George. The Imago Dei Academy, a lot of people are wondering what the Imago Dei Academy is. Imago Dei means, is Latin for made in God's image. And so when we were founding our school and searching for a name, we thought in a day and time when somebody's identity plays such a crucial role in the public discourse, the reminder that we're all made in God's image couldn't be more important. And so our school was started this year. We have 31 students who are receiving a faith-based education. Our school model is classical, so we go back to the basics in order to go forward. Our belief is that by doing that, we can create a better educational model and create an opportunity for kids, and some kids that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford faith-based education. And it's because of people like George and his foundation and other people in this room that we've been able to accomplish that. So thank you guys for letting me be a part of this tonight. Thank you, George. Thank you to the Rusk County Community Foundation for making it possible. When we get donations, our school is a nonprofit. And that means that every single dollar we get goes to students and teachers. And not only are students important, but teachers are one of those underpaid and underappreciated groups of people. And we try to make sure our teachers are compensated well for a private school like ours, and that kids who couldn't have the opportunity to go to school will benefit from this. So thank you so much, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
In the 4th chapter of 1 Peter, it's written, "The end of all things is near. Therefore be alert and of sober mind so that you may pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength that God provides. And so in all things, God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. And so, my friends, I believe that it is nothing that I have done to deserve this award. We have all been commissioned to love and serve each other, to serve our brothers and sisters in this world. Thank you again.
Hey, George.
Hi, everyone. I'm the treasurer of Rusk County Community Foundation for the last 15 years. And just to share a brief history, our CCF Foundation has it brings together people who care with causes that matter in our community over the last 15 years. Our all-volunteer board has brought an initial gift of $100,000, and you'll see in the brochure, to over $3.5 million today, allocated across 30 different funds, and each fund with its own mission set up according to each donor's wishes. Our expectancies, which are future bequests and promises, they're not actual gifts, but someday, are at least $6 to $7 million. So we see this big, huge light at the end of the tunnel for Rusk County, and the money's staying here, and we're listening to all the activities that we've been talking about. It's not money, it's the blessings and it's the activities that are taking place underlying our gifts. To date, many of these funds have given over, in the last 15 years, $600,000 to area nonprofits, churches, and schools. We did this while keeping expenses incredibly low. Your gift to a foundation, an endowed gift, is a gift of forever, and it happens when the donation is endowed. Community foundations nationwide, through their formal investment policies, establish a targeted rate of return of 7 to 8%. Of this amount, 4% is distributed annually, and it continues to grow, while the remaining 3+% grows, hopefully ahead of inflation. And seasoned endowments continue to give both in good years and bad. Assets are professionally managed. Our investment advisor, through our affiliate Community Foundation of Chippewa County, is Oracle Wealth Management. They've achieved a 10-year rate of return of 6.84%, and that includes a recent correction throughout the summer here that we've been going through. So every year the return is different. Last year it was 11.71%. The prior year it was 10.76%. Some years it's less, but long term we expect that endowed rate of return is 7 to 8%. Our portfolio is balanced. Multi-fund ETF portfolio, 60 to 70% equities, with a small amount allocated to hedged alternate investments. Most funds are low-cost institutional funds. The portfolio is structured for exposure to both small, large cap international stocks, professionally managed, with emerging market and fixed income exposure. The fixed income portion, about 40%, is 85% of that is in bonds, domestic bonds, and 15% in international bonds. So our fixed investments include corporate, government, and mortgage-backed asset exposure. Investment fees charged through Orville Wealth Management are a low 35 basis points or 3/5 of 1%, which is very modest and very low. Our last fiscal year from July 1st, 21 through this summer, June 30th, 22, we added over 704,000 in new endowments. Of that, 600,000 is the Lady Smith Scholarship Fund. Our investment loss on those endowed funds for the fiscal year was about $506,000. That was uncomfortable, but it's not unexpected going forward. We're going to have those years, and but long term we'll get those 7 and 8% rates of return, and that growth of endowment. A little over $98,000 in grants were given out locally in Rusk County schools and other nonprofits during this time over last year. Next year, even with our losses, we expect to give about $95,000 away. And if you notice, there's a solar array by the library. We lost one fund. I shouldn't say lost. They decided to close it and take their assets and build that solar array by the library. And so good things are happening with all these monies, and so thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Jackie Peterson, and I too am a member of the Rusk County Community Foundation Board. And I have the opportunity tonight to talk to you about Double the Impact, a matching grant that was donated through anonymous donors. And tonight you've been hearing about some of the fantastic things that have been happening with our CCF, how we are financially helping various programs, people, and agencies fulfill their goals and dreams. And through Double the Impact, you have an opportunity to have your donation doubled. And we have forms that are back by Lisa and the bar that go into the details, so you may feel free to pick up one of these forms. And in your little brochure tonight, you'll find that there's an envelope. So whether you make a donation tonight or you make a donation from your home at a later date, you have the opportunity to double your difference that you're making into our community by supporting the Rusk County Community Foundation. So please check out our website. Please check out the brochure, which lists all of the funds that we have, or start your own fund. It's a perfect opportunity tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Bob Leckler, and it is a pleasure to greet you on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Rusk County Community Foundation. As the newly elected chairman of the board, I am humbled by the confidence shown in me by the board during a time of growth and transition. Trying to fill the shoes of my predecessor, Bev Dukersheim, is no easy task. Bev and her husband, Gordy, have been instrumental in the establishment of the foundation and its promotion of the mission to improve the quality of life in the Rusk County community through permanent endowments and grant giving. Their generous contributions of time and treasure have established a foundation that continues to grow and have a lasting impact. It is a privilege to work with such a talented board of directors. Each person brings unique skills and experiences to assist the foundation in raising awareness to the needs of the area and to provide lasting support and inspiration to meet those needs through planned giving. The genius of the foundation is to establish opportunities for giving that combine financial support to important causes into perpetuity. Contributions, both large and small, are in managed funds that increase their earning potential. Therefore, many people and organizations are able to have a lasting impact on the quality of life in the Rusk County area. The foundation is at a critical time of growth, leading to the need for significant change. The board has approved the hire of Carolyn Ford as the executive director of the foundation. In this part-time position, she will provide the needed leadership to coordinate the many tasks of the foundation, from organizing clerical duties, to growing our donor base, to promoting the foundation. We are excited to have someone of Carolyn's skill and experience to lead the foundation into dynamic growth. Along with this change, the board is looking at options for affiliation that will provide even more opportunities for expansion. These are exciting times to be part of an effort to improve the quality of life in the Rusk County area. In the midst of economic uncertainty, the Foundation Board of Directors is working hard, there's my 5 minutes, to provide opportunities for individuals, families, organizations, and businesses to contribute to a legacy of giving. I look forward to what the future holds. If you have not been part of the foundation, I hope you will consider joining our efforts. If you have been part of our mission, thank you. I hope you will consider continuing and possibly increasing your support of the many funds available through the foundation. Your efforts will help create a legacy for causes that matter. Thank you. Now, before I turn the podium over to Bev for her comments, I'd like to make a special presentation to recognize her vision, determination, and leadership.
John. Thank you. So after 15 years with the foundation, I'd like to share some personal thoughts about what kept me engaged and what will continue to do so as I step aside, and that's gratitude. From the donors who feel blessed and inspired to give back to their community, to the appreciative nonprofit organizations on the receiving end, gratitude is what has fueled our foundation. Research suggests that gratitude inspires people to be more generous, and it's an important moral virtue. As I get older, I find myself more able to appreciate the people, events, and situations that have been a part of my life story. When I die, there will be 2 dates on my headstone, my birthday and my death date, neither of which I will have had any control over. But between those dates, there's going to be a dash. And I can choose and make decisions about what happens during the dash. Not a day goes by that we don't have a chance to love, to serve, to give, or to learn. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life, and it turns what we have into enough and more. I feel that we need to make the most of every opportunity. There's an old saying that opportunity knocks, but sometimes it roars. You just know that you are called to get involved. And the foundation was that for me. It was an exciting new endeavor, a place where I could use my contacts, expertise, and enthusiasm. And the fact that an endowed fund could continue to grant into perpetuity resonated. It also became an important estate planning tool for Gordy and me. The foundation has been blessed to have talented board members, past and present, that have guided the foundation to where it is today. We are the leading resource for philanthropy in Rusk County. Under new leadership, the foundation looks forward to focused growth and impact and growing relationships with their donors. In a world that can seem dark at times, we are called to give light. Your light matters. Researchers have discovered that there is an actual benefit to giving called the warm glow effect. Studies abound that demonstrate the health benefits of being grateful and thankful. When we do something good for another person, we encourage the release of endorphins, the feel-good chemicals in our bodies. Gratitude enhances well-being, and generosity rarely happens by chance. Instead, it's an intentional decision that we make. I also encourage you to give first. Every payday, write a small check to a charity. You will likely be surprised that you won't even miss it. We shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt in each hand. The measure of your life will not be by what you accumulate, by what you give away. I have a few helpers who are going to come to your table with individual candles. Please take one and wait for my instructions. Okay, does everybody have one? Now, if one person at each table would light their candle from the centerpiece, and if the lit candle stays upright, you light yours, so we don't drip wax. But one by one, share the light until everyone's candle is lit. If your light went out, go share.
Okay.
Did you see how we went from a few single flames, which tonight represent single donors, to more and more light, or more and more donors, until the entire room glowed? We need to count on many people to continue and contribute and get involved and not rely on only a few people to give. Our CCF will grow to significant levels if we all do what we can. It's about imagining the power of more. When you light another's candle, you lose nothing of your own. Together we produce more light. The miracle is this: the more we share, the more we have. It has been my sincere privilege to be a part of our CCF, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Thank you.
Hard to clap.
Go ahead and blow your candles out. We'll pick them up
In closing, I would like to thank you all for attending this evening. We are so fortunate to have amazing individuals in our community like George Lawrence. I am so glad all of you were in attendance to honor George, as well as to find out a little bit more about the foundation. I hope you enjoyed the food and beverages that were provided. Thank you to Bonnie Dyson for catering the event. And I would like to thank all of you for your consideration of or continued support of the Rusk County Community Foundation. Good evening and have a safe journey home. Thank you.